Wow. I gotta say, I gotta say that I'm impressed. I'm impressed. It takes a lot. You guys know, takes a lot. I'm impressed. 40 good minutes of hockey. Would like for it to be 60, but 40 good minutes of hockey. I'm stunned. I truthfully am because my thought going into every game is typically they're gonna get outplayed. Will they win or lose? And yeah, see you later, buddy. Um, I'm thoroughly impressed because normally I expect them to get outplayed. I expect them to get dominated. I just don't know the result. It's the Penguins. You should be beating up on this team the way that you did. So tomorrow, real test. Tomorrow's the real test. You play a Washington squad that I believe finished out by beating the Islanders, if I'm not mistaken. Um, let's see. Did they beat them yet? Because they're up 4-2, it says. It's almost over. They're gonna win that game. But either way, you play Washington tomorrow. Quick's probably gonna be in goal. And again, you should be beating up on this Penguin squad the way that you did. My thought was the first period, I felt, okay, they're going to do the typical get outplayed and maybe sneak a win type thing because in the first period, they got dominated badly and it was ugly. I mean, once again, just watching poor executions on the breakout. Once again, just watching a team that cannot get anything going offensively 5-on-5. They end up going shorthanded. Zibanejad scores, which, oh my goodness, that pass by Sam Carrick, though. Oh my goodness, that pass was beautiful. But I thought they're going to drop this game, aren't they? Or they're going to rely on Igor. And even to start the second, and they allow the early goal to Ben Kindle when Igor should not have allowed that, but Gavrikov got infected by the fact that this team loves to do home run passes, which they did a lot of in the first 20 minutes or so of this game. Rush comes the other way, and Igor, you got to stop that one. You've been lights out. You got to stop that one. And that ended up tying the game at one. But then the Rangers end up getting going. Adam Fox, that's a goal. Will Cooley on the power play. I cannot believe it. And remember last post game, I said, how many goals will the second unit score? And the if you watched the final buzzer I did with Phil, I was saying over under 7 goals for the second power play unit. We all said under. They end up scoring tonight. Will Cooley gets on the score sheet, just parking himself in front of the net. Noah Laba getting a point, which, by the way, including the preseason, Noah Laba's best game thus far, easily. And we'll talk more about him as we go throughout the episode here. Fox had a shot from the blue line on the next power play after winning a draw. Miller winning a draw, that is. That ended up making it 4-1. Matt Rempe getting on the board. I'm going to be honest, in that, and that was in the third period. I don't know if that goal should have counted, to be completely honest with you. I know he got pushed in by Shea, but we have seen so many times that get called for goalie interference. I was shocked that Pittsburgh did not challenge that. But nonetheless, they get a goal there from that. I thought Edstrom was getting the credit for the goal at first. And then even on the next goal, which Noah Laba, I think that this so far was the do I want to say that was the best setup for a goal we've seen so far 3 games in? I don't know. But just the work to get that going from defense to offense, and Taylor Radish ends up scoring. Cannot believe that happened. But Noah Laba sets it up, and they end up not playing on their heels in the third period, which was the biggest thing for me. Again, could it be that it's because it's Pittsburgh? I do not know. It could be that, and that's why we're gonna find out, and that's why I am not going to tell you that I am streaking over this win. You should be dominating the Penguins. I am not going to complain that you actually outplayed the Penguins. because I can't sit here and do it both ways. I can't sit here and get mad when they're not outplaying the Penguins and then say, "Oh, well, I outplayed the Penguins, but it's the Penguins," which I still have that mindset to a degree, but you should be beating this team and you should be outplaying them if you are actually anything good. We saw them do this to Detroit last year earlier in the season, which is kind of where again, good win. Let's see what they do to build on it, though. That's what's more important to me because if you come out against Washington tomorrow and have a stinker, then that just tells me once again, yeah, you're not actually good. Edmonton, that's a good team. You're not actually good if you end up coming out flat in those games. So that's what's important to me now is you actually build on this. Will they? I do not know. That truthfully, I do not know. I'm going to tell you right now, honestly, I do not expect it because of what we saw in the first 2 games, but this is what you do to a goalie that has the save percentage he did because the thing that they were doing tonight versus what they did in the first game of the season was they were attacking the net more than they did in that first game. And even in that second period when despite them outplaying them, I really wanted to see, is that a product because they were on the special team so much, or is that due to the fact that they actually did play good? And the third period again, third period was great. That's how you play with a lead, even though there were a couple blips because oh my goodness, that one play where Vakanainen just turns the puck over and then here comes the Penguins for a rush the other way. That stuff can't happen. That stuff cannot happen against a good team because of that, they'll make you pay. Where Crosby, that was it. Yeah, Crosby gets right into the blue paint, and Taylor Radish, you know what? He had a lot of moments throughout this game where I was still pissed off at him and spit was flying and I wanted to throw something at the TV, but he saved the goal there, so I will say that. They still have things they need to clean up because even though they limited a lot of the quantity of shots, the quality sorry, wait, my mic's all messed up? Hang on. Is that true? It could just be that I'm talking a lot. The mic is screwed? Oh, oh, don't don't tell me. No. Is it too quiet or too loud, guys? It's glitching. Oh, boy. 1 second, guys. Is it better now? If not, I'm gonna have to back out of the StreamYard and then come back in. I just reset my audio software. Yes, it's better, or yes, it's better? Okay. Guess I just had to reset. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Um, where was I at? Now I don't remember. I'm horrible at this. How do you guys listen to me? Nonetheless, yeah, I mean, I just wanna see now, you know, them limit that's where I was. I was talking about the, I sound far. Let me try raising the gain a little bit. Is that better? Let me fix this before I continue my thought. A little delayed. Is it better now? Before I keep going on my rant. I apologize for the audio issues, it's better? Okay. Still delayed, slightly choppy. Alright, well, let me try backing out of the StreamYard and then coming back in real quick. So, bear with me. Alright, I think. It's other people's shit internet. Worse? Oh boy. Oh boy. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's good? Better? Fine? Alright. Much better. It just caught up. Okay. Alright. Appreciate everyone. And I'm sorry if there's any more delays or anything. I legit can't control it at this point. So, um, unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with that. But nonetheless, my thought. I was talking about the quality of shots. Yes, they limited a lot of quantity throughout this game. I still want to see them limit the quality of shots throughout games because there were times where I wasn't pleased about that. And just in general, that first period, you can't let a Pittsburgh Penguins squad, you can't let that team look fast against you. And that's what happened in that first period that frustrated me. Because I can tell you right now, Edmonton, they're not going to let that slide against you. Toronto, they're not going to let that slide. Even Washington, for that matter, tomorrow, who are on the older side. You're not going to get the luxury of facing an Eric Carlson who does not know what he's doing because, oh my goodness, Eric Carlson, it is time to hang up the skates, man. But yeah, either way, like I was saying before, um, they need to clean things up still in the D zone. I thought early on, the biggest thing that I noticed early on, and you guys could tell me in the chat if it's just me, but in that first period, did it feel like they were just not defending the point at all? Because there were so many times where I'm just watching Pittsburgh cycle along the boards and they get the easy pass up to the defenseman because no one's covering the points at all. I don't understand what that was about, and I hope to not see that again because it threw everyone out of position when that was happening. And this was the point. You had way too much puck watching in that first period. Way too much. And they got cycled on bad and then overcompensated and cheated down. That's really what I had an issue with. That was very frustrating to see at points. In terms of another thing that happened this game, Carson Soucy, I don't want to I'm not trying to laugh because he's injured. Like, it was just the way the injury occurred where I just think of Jacob Trouba, Superman diving headfirst into the boards, and that was the first thought that came to my mind when that happened. It looked like a concussion. I don't know. Obviously, I am not an expert in that. The fact that he didn't come back tells me that it's probably some sort of head injury like a concussion. As much as I do not like Carson Soucy, I don't want to see him get injured, and that looked scary. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that was I don't know how that even happened to him. So Carson Soucy, very uncoordinated, but we'll see what happens there. Trocheck didn't play this game, which is also another thing of note. We had to watch Connor Sheary in the top six, which I could not believe my freaking eyes with that one. Really could not believe that we had to watch that, and they still ended up finding a way to win this game. At the end of the day, the thing that I could say, they destroyed a Pittsburgh team that you should be destroying. They outplayed a team that you should be outplaying. They scored 6 against a goalie you should be scoring 6 against. How will you build on it? And again, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that all of a sudden, here we go. Things are in a rhythm. I'm not gonna tell you that because I'd be lying if I said that that's what I believed. But we will see. We will have to just see because like some of you guys are saying in the chat, I mean, some of the guys were still invisible. Panarin, still invisible to me. JT Miller, still invisible. Panarin, really, it's the lack of effort in the D zone. Like once again, cherry picking too much, cheating the game too much. And if they're playing injured, like I said, they have to they have to sit. They have to sit. I did see before though. We had I don't know if he's still here, but Wardy in the chat. What's going on, Tyler? Tyler in the chat though. Shout out to him. If you guys are Mets fans, go check out, of course, Wardy NYM. Shout out to him. My goodness, I keep getting sorry. I'm getting distracted because things always tend to happen. Things always tend to happen when I'm live. I don't know what that is. Let's see. What are you guys wanting to talk about in the chat tonight? Yeah, Lava had 2 points tonight. Lava definitely had 2. He had the point, obviously, on the goal that he ended up really setting up the last goal, and then on the power play, he had the secondary assist. So 2-point night for Noah Laba, which I really thought that last goal was his. I thought it went off of, who was it, Parker Wotherspoon? No, it wasn't Wotherspoon. 82, who's wearing 82 on that team? My good oh, yeah, Caleb Jones. Caleb Jones. Man, that team stinks. That team stinks. You should be freaking destroying them. Yeah, Robertson's probably gonna slot into the lineup tomorrow because I can't imagine Susie being ready to go tomorrow. I could be wrong, but I don't see that. I think it's too early for this. I don't know if I'd put Igor in tomorrow. I think it's too early to throw Igor on a back-to-back. I don't know about that one. If they do it, sure, but I mean, the only thing that could make it possible is what I laid out in the last post game, I believe I said it, that they love to play Jonathan Quick against Western Conference teams. So there could be a world where Igor plays tomorrow and then Quick plays Tuesday, but I don't know. I just feel like it might be too early to be doing the whole playing back to back thing. It wouldn't be the worst thing though because you play Quick then on Tuesday, Igor Thursday, Saturday, Monday, and then Quick plays against the Sharks. I don't know how you go about this. Really don't. I'm very interested to see though how this team looks with Quick in that because with some of the defensive lapses, let's see what other comments are there. It's a smile, I see. There's your smile. There's your slight smile. You know when I'll smile? The day that this team plays this way consistently. I don't need it every night. I know it's unrealistic for a team to dominate every night, and I've said that time and time again, but if you're seriously a contender, you should be destroying and outplaying bad teams, and you should be playing the right way. Which there were things they didn't do the right way tonight still, obviously, but play the right way, and you will see the smile. You will see me smile often, but unfortunately, haven't gave me a reason to. And I agree with this that listen, I'm not gonna argue this because I was not a fan of bringing Quick back for a third go around here. I wasn't. We'll see how he does, but I'm worried based on the way he looked in the preseason. I'm pretty worried, considering that. Yeah, exactly. You need to play the right way, like 2014-15 Brandon Bass in order to be a cup contender, or like the 2014-15 Rangers to an extent. I mean, obviously relying on Lundqvist a little too much, but that team was probably the best Rangers team in my lifetime. Not probably, they are, which it's unfortunate because they didn't even win the cup. And I'm glad Fox says this. I'm glad they got to back it up because there's been times where there've been many times, and even during the intermission, I was proud to hear when the players were getting interviewed saying that it's not good enough, even though we're winning. Like we still could be better. Certain things that we need to improve on. I'm happy to hear that, but all I could sit here and say is you have to back it up because there have been so many times they've done this to where unfortunately, the words don't mean much to me. It's action over words. How many wins did I have this team at before the season started? I don't know if I really put a number on it, but I predict them to be like 4th or 5th in the Metro, which we'll see. I mean, got outplayed 2 games, outplayed this game. Um, we'll see. We will see. Okay, please give them 10 games. What choice do I have? Um, I'm tell here. Put it this way. I'll give them the 10 games. I'll give them 10 games because I don't have a choice, really. But I'm not expecting them to change my mind about who they are in the first 10 games, 15 games, whatever it is. Is that a good way to put it? Is that a good way to put it? Because based on what I've seen the last however many years, they have not gave me a reason to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's gonna take I said it before the season began. It is going to take a lot for them to win me back over. It's gonna take me a very long time to get there. And it should take them a while to win all of us back because this is the point. They have had however many games before, 300 games, whatever amount of games as a group, maybe even more. They have had an absurd amount of games before this to tell me I shouldn't trust them. To where 10 to 15 games, maybe for the season, you could convince me a little bit, but I'm not fully in until way later on in the season. I'm sorry, I gotta see how January goes because I saw the Rangers under Peter Laviolette start off pretty solid the first year, and then come January, hit a skid. February, they started to win again, but there was a lot of ugly wins in February and March, and then it kind of rolled into the playoffs a little bit where, they were beating Washington, scraped by that. I know they swept them, but like scraped by in terms of those games score wise were close, way closer than they should have been. And this is the other point. The team quit on the city and the fans. You need to be a hell of a lot more than to beat the Sabres and the Penguins to win us back. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. I want them to win me back over. Believe me, I want them to prove me wrong. I want to sit here late. I want to sit here in late June previewing a Stanley Cup final matchup with this team in it. I want more than anyone else. And I want them to win the trophy and for me to start that stream after winning it by saying, I was wrong. I was an idiot. I'm a doofus. Never listen to me again. But it's going to take a very long time for me to, and again, is it going to happen? I am not counting on it. Just not. Sorry. They beat the Penguins. Yeah, 100% would complain. Yeah, I would complain so much if they won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, that you get it because they have all these Stanley Cups to prove that I would be that way. 100%. Richard got me, man. Even in a game like that, where JT or Panarin, like, I'm sorry, best player should be eating that team alive. I don't disagree with that either. And that was my problem with January last year when guys like Carrick were starting to produce. I'm like, it's nice, but it's not sustainable to rely on your depth scoring. So I understand that. This is the point. This is the point. For all the you would complain if they won the Stanley Cup. No, I wouldn't because you know how you win a Stanley Cup? You play the right way. You play good hockey. You don't win a cup not playing the right way. It's pretty simple. I complain because I want to see them win a cup. But again, I don't know why I give attention to these idiots, but nonetheless, say whatever the fuck you want. I am here to analyze what I'm seeing. I am not here to wave the pom poms. I am not here to do cartwheels and bat flips at every single turn. And I've said that from day one that I know that I am not going to be someone that everyone agrees with. I know that I'm going to be polarizing to a lot of Ranger fans. I don't care. I do not care. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that. And I've said it before. I am sacrificing so many opportunities for myself to do this. So many. Because I could easily sit here and wave the pom poms. I could easily sit here and sugarcoat things, act like things are better than they actually are. And I could be pulling in views. I could be getting opportunities with potentially big content creators. I could be getting opportunities potentially with who knows what. Who the hell knows what I could be doing? Look at what other content creators have got. Wardy was in here before. Look at what he has got. Hits on S and Y. Even Brendan Azoff. Look at what he's got, friend of the show. I'm here to be authentic. But this is the point is, Bobby, why would I be here if I'm not gonna point out the bad as well? What am I here for then? If I was here to just sit here and compliment the game and just say everything good that was done, what's separating me from the MSG Network's post-game show? Why would you guys listen to me over listening to them? Why would you guys listen to me over listening to anyone else? What's the point of me being here if I'm not gonna analyze the game, good and bad things? What is the point of me being here if I'm not gonna point out things where, "Hey, they need to fix them or things might go south," when the players are saying it too? So what's the point? Could be doing vlogging. What would I vlog about? If I gave the impression I'm bent out of shape after this game, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you at all. Because I don't think I've gave that impression at all tonight. I've been very chill. I've been very, very relaxed tonight. I have critiqued the things that happened in the first period, and I said that they played a really strong 40 minutes of hockey. I don't know what gives the impression that I don't know. I don't know what gave that impression. Exactly the point, Kaylee. Again, I don't know why I give attention to this, but I appreciate everyone that likes it. Again, it's pretty simple. Just do not watch. Do not watch. If you are looking for rose-colored glasses and looking for people that are gonna talk about the good, find the people that talk about the good. That's the beauty of YouTube. We have so many great content creators on this platform that talk about different things and have different ways of talking about the team. That is the beauty of this. You do not have to watch me. Create a Guangdong Tigers Central channel. That could be interesting. Let's see. What else there? Thank you, Kaylee. I appreciate this. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Brewers up 3-1. I forgot that game's going on right now. I should put that up on the side for myself. You guys in the chat are funny. Hey, I sharp. I you would think. Thank you for the $10, B-Rye. I appreciate it. I said I would hold off judgment on Gavrikov for a bit, but I feel a bit underwhelmed. Well, what I would say still about Gavrikov, I don't know. I still feel how I did. I don't know. I think you were in the final buzzer live stream. Usually you are in every chat. So I really do appreciate that as well. B-Rye, whether you're supporting us, Big Apple Hockey, who I'm gonna be joining, I believe, after this. I don't know if they started yet, but, nonetheless, uh yeah, I was saying in that stream that I'm willing to give Gavrikov time because he's been so good in the past to where I can't just imagine all of a sudden, and I know you put on the Ranger jersey and this is what happens. I know, but even I say it. But there was an adjustment period from him going to from Columbus to LA to where there were a lot of LA fans that were not happy with Gavrikov early on, and I remember at first with that trade, people were saying that trade might be kinda lopsided in Columbus's favor. So I think a lot of first round pick, if I'm not mistaken. I'm underwhelmed as well with what we've seen from Gavrikov. I have not liked some of the decision making with the puck. That has been very apparent, and it was when he ended up being responsible for that goal that happened. But I'm willing to give it time because he's playing with a new D partner. I'm willing to give it time because it's it's a new team for him and everything, a different system where LA especially they play such a defensive first system that I think he kind of just really bled into that. So it might be worse here for him. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it is going to be as good as it was in LA for him, but I agree with this, but he's one of those things that I'm willing to give time. And I was saying before with some things, I'm not willing to give it time because I've seen years of certain things with this group to where why should I be giving them another chance with another coach? Gavrikov, I'm willing to give some time. I don't know. I think this was better than the home opener, but I think this was worse than the Buffalo game. I think the Buffalo game so far has been his best. That's my opinion. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you guys. Talking about Panarin, I pointed it out in game 1. I pointed it out after the Buffalo game. I've not been happy with Panarin this season so far. I really have been, um and I believe me, I have said for a while I'm in the minority that I don't know if you win with a Panarin type, but this year, I mean, in the first 3 games in, I know he might be playing hurt, but I think it could just be simply an age thing too. Like, could we think about that could be part of the part of the thing here? Because he is getting up there. We could just be seeing the decline. Maybe it's a bit of both, the injury and a decline, I don't know, but he's always played scared, he's always played with doing nothing on defense, but it's been very apparent thus far. Alright, I'm gonna sit here and pull this one up because I think it's very unfair to say this about Anthony because Anthony is very, very good at what he does, and there's a reason he's doing a lot of work for the hockey news. He does a lot, he works his ass off in the hockey community here to make things what it is, and he writes great articles. He is one of the most fair people. I disagree with this, and I get that, when you hear criticism from an Islanders fan about the Rangers, you're kinda like, "Oh, he's just hating to hate." Anthony will tell you how it is. That's how Anthony is. He is like me in that regard. He's just obviously a lot more calm in the delivery. He's a lot more, um, respectful in the delivery as well. where I'm obviously aggressive over the top, and that's what makes me polarizing. But Anthony is great at what he does. Anthony is great at what he does, and I don't think this is fair to say. I'm sorry, I just don't. I have to defend him there. Yeah, I'm with you on this, and that Gavrikov's the least of my concerns right now. I'm just not worried. I'm not worried yet. If this continues for if we're talking about, what's a good benchmark with Gavrikov? I mean, it's a long contract to where it's hard to gauge where we should I mean, I will say I'll start to get concerned, though. I'm not gonna sit here and say the contract's a dud early, unless, it's really bad these next few games, but, like, I'm willing to give it, like, a month and a half to 2 months before I start to get concerned. I just don't get this impression from Anthony. I'm sorry I don't. I think he keeps it very, very fair with how he talks, and just like with me, there's just not a lot of good to talk about with the Rangers. That's why there's not a lot of times he talks good about the Rangers, and when there are times to talk good, he does. He is as fair as you could possibly get, and that's what I respect so much about him. I hate the wait and see approach. If he's not in the team's future plans, get him out. You're not gonna trade a guy though the first year of a 7-year deal. Like, I listen, I'm obviously someone that would love to get rid of a lot of guys on this roster. Do not get me wrong, but and I'm someone that likes to be proactive versus reactive with certain situations. But maybe I'm being too fair to Gavrikov. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. Like I don't know. I've just seen way too much good from Gavrikov throughout his career to where I can't sit here and worry. Like, I would be very concerned right now, or I'd be very upset right now if he was getting the contract that we initially thought. Because initially, when Provorov got that deal, I was thinking Gavrikov might get, like, 9.5 or 10,000,000, and if he was making as much or more as Fox, we'd have problems right now. I'd start to be getting critical early. But considering they got him on the deal they did, I'm not there. I'm just not there. And yeah, I'm seeing a couple comments about this that something else I'd like to see change is this does need to stay out of the box. It's happened way too much because you play Edmonton on what is it again? Tuesday, right? They play Edmonton? Tuesday, yeah. I remember that. Um, you play Edmonton on Tuesday and give them those power plays. That's not gonna go well. That is one of the best power plays in the league. Uh, they gotta stay out of the box. Have to. And the penalty kill's been fine, but you're also playing Pittsburgh and Buffalo, who don't have great power plays, so you gotta. And yeah, I agree with this as well. that it's good to have an outside voice speak on the Rangers. It shows we're not being negative for the sake of being negative fans. Other fans of other teams see what we're seeing. Exactly. And again, I get that might come across as, oh, biased Islander fan, or, if a Devils fan says it, oh, biased Devils fan just ripping on the Rangers to rip on the Rangers. I get it might come across that way to some, but I don't know. For me and for a lot of other people, it's the similar thought of it kind of just it's the thought of, it confirms that what I'm seeing isn't isn't wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it confirms that, okay, outside sources are seeing this, and even when panels say it, and they're just saying, the Rangers aren't a good 5v5 team and all this other stuff, and that's what I get. Like, I get that people don't like me because they hate to I don't know if I wanna say hate to hear the truth, because I don't wanna sit here and act like I'm always right. I'm not always right, and that would sound condescending if I said that, but they don't wanna hear the downside to things. They don't wanna hear the wrong in things. Some people just like to fan and be fans type thing. Some people prefer that way, and again, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it is wrong. I'm just gonna sit here and tell you what I've been saying for a while. I'm just not the channel to watch. I'm not for you. Honestly, this is very true. This is very true, Sean. He is knowledgeable, though, about, like, the entire league more than a lot of fans in their own fan bases. Like, it is I have so much respect for him. I have so much respect for all the work that is done on Big Apple Hockey's channel. Mark, even though, of course, we tease him for his gaffes, he works his friggin' ass off, man. Phil works his ass off for that channel, and, he is someone that he's also similar to me in the regard where he's a lot more tame than me. He used to be a little more aggressive like I am in the delivery, but he's similar to me in the regards of not putting on the rose-colored glasses and everything, but yeah. And this is kind of the point to put a bow on it. Yeah, Mark Headshot Williams, but not that. What I have up? This one, yeah. This is kind of the point to put a bow on it where I can't I just can't ignore what happened last year. I can't. And that's the thing, is that, again, I will be you could go back, and I cite this to all the people that think that I just am here to be negative. I want anyone that thinks that to go back, click on my live page, go the oldest, go watch some of my live streams from back in, like, 2021, 2022, or go to my videos actually, because a lot of them were videos. Forgot that. I didn't do the lives for a bit. But go to my older videos and go to the 2021, 2022 season. You will see me hyping up this team, getting excited. Even 23, 24, when part of that regular season pissed me the fuck off. When they start 7-0, I was cocky and arrogant as ever, thinking this team was going to win the cup. I was fully convinced this team was going the distance. But unfortunately, things have happened. Fun to banter with. Yes, he definitely is. But that's where I'm gonna leave this, live stream off. I am gonna join Big Apple Hockey because I do feel bad that I took a while with this live stream, longer than I usually do, and I was supposed to be on with them. So if you guys want to watch, go check them out. Go to Big Apple Hockey. I'll put the link to the final buzzer in the chat. Tell them that I sent you, whatever you wanna do. Uh, tell I don't know, troll Matt and Phil, but not to the point where they'll ban you. Whatever you want to do, go ahead. Just putting the link in the chat right now. Go ahead and join the live stream. I will be there. Thank you, everyone, for watching this live stream. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one.